Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I will continue talking about fostering 21st century skills. In the first part, if you remember, I have mentioned inquisitive thinking and critical thinking. In this second part, I will mention the other aspects of the modern classroom. The third aspect is creative thinking. Creative activities challenge students to take what they already know and make something new out of it. Creative activities often bring joy, fun, and delight to the classroom. Generating ideas is a creative ability. You can use brainstorming to help students come up with creative ideas. You may begin with an activity like this. Brainstorming individually, okay? You have 3 minutes to make a list of the things that have 4 legs. 4 legs. Wait for the students to do this brainstorming part by themselves and then start the second step. Now I want you to pair up. Work with a friend. Compare your lists with your friend. You have 3 minutes to discuss which ideas are similar, which are different. Circle the similar ones. Put a tick next to the different ones. Wait for them to finish the activity and then move on to the next step. Enter class, work together to make a class list of all the things that have 4 legs. Students work together to see how many similar items they have in their lists. The different ones with a tick are added to the list as separate items. If they are unique, students put another tick by these items, next to these items. Students with most words with ticks, most ticks, will be applauded or praised in some other way, which encourages thinking very creatively, different from others. Thinking outside the box, okay? So in these activities, students will do their best to come up with answers that are unique, that are not common, okay? Then you can move on to the next step. You can form small groups. Form small groups. Each student chooses 2 words from the class list, and as a group, they connect these words with some other words to create something new, such as square table. Table from the list of items that have 4 legs. Square is the new word. A wooden table. A dirty table. A big table. An expensive table. Okay, so it is good because it also helps learners to practice collocations of certain words. They can learn which words can appear with which others. Creative activities will vary widely depending on your learner's age, the topic you're covering, or the theme of the lesson, or the language proficiency level, or the aim of the lesson, the language that you want to teach or practice. You can, for example, take an everyday item as your target, a pen, a cup, or a sock, or anything like that. Ask your students to think unconventionally and to innovate and to create new options for that specific item. What can you use a pen for in a different environment to solve a problem, for example? Well, another point is people love stories. You can always use stories for creative thinking. You can ask your students to change the characters, the main character of the story or the other characters of the story, the place, the time, etc., to create imaginary stories of their own. Dramatization and creative drama are also excellent opportunities for students to develop their creativity and imagination. And believe me, regardless of the age of the learners, they love doing dramatization and creative drama. You can also ask your students to design things such as their own school uniforms and draw samples, for example, or design a school with all the social activities or places or rooms that they imagine, that they dream of. They can even come up with the sketch of a school like that. The fourth aspect, after inquisitive thinking, critical thinking, and creative thinking, I want to talk about collaboration and cooperation as the fourth aspect, as I've said before. This can be done with the help of pair work, group work, and whole class work. Communicative activities and tasks can create great opportunities for students to learn how to work in teams, to take responsibility, to contribute to a group, to delegate tasks and activities, to be responsible to some other people will definitely increase a student's sense of belonging and cooperation and collaboration. Of course, students may need the benefit of discussing ideas in their own language, L1. Your role is to encourage them to use English as much as possible among themselves, to give support if students need words or phrases in English. You can do this with the help of pre-activities, of course. If you have enough scaffolding, students will be ready, at least to a certain extent, to discuss ideas in the target language. You should also keep walking around the class, not only to control them, but also to offer your help whenever needed. Of course, accuracy and correctness are important. But in modern classrooms, fluency is more important than those. Communication in real life situations can be carried out non-verbally. We know that. Students should be able to use that aspect of communication and find ways to express themselves. Fluency is the ability of a student to use English meaningfully, to communicate. This does not mean perfection in vocabulary or structure. It is getting the message across with the help of language, gestures, body language, tone, and intonation. Everything that you can think of that we use in our everyday situations where we communicate, where we interact with others. Students need to understand that English is not an academic subject to be learned, tested, and then forgotten. But it is a life skill to be used as a natural means of communication throughout one's life. Language cannot be treated as a subject matter. It is something that we use to communicate. That's how it should be taught. Well, that's all for this part of the video. If you have any questions, please leave your questions in comment part. We will try to answer them as soon as possible. The third part of this video will be released soon. And as usual, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Your support is very important for us. Take good care of yourselves. Bye.